Police cars are made to be some of the most dependable and durable cars out there. Some are made to go mock Jesus, others are made to just go around town, and then there's a couple of them that just plain old suck. Yeah, we're talking about you, Dodge Intrepid. Today, we're talking about the top 10 police cars. Cars that you can beat the crap out of, but will somehow keep going. That makes these fantastic cars to buy on the used market. But as a reminder, just remember that these things can be beat to all hell, and make sure that you get a decent one if you decide to pick one of these up. But that being said, let's get into it. At number 10, we have the Chevy Impala. Now, these things are slower than your grandmother's stair lift. Pretty much all of them had the 3.9-liter V6 making 240 horsepower. Early ones were paired with a 4-speed automatic, but the later ones ended up getting the 6-speed. But regardless of what transmission you got, these had a top speed of 124 miles an hour and a mid 7-second 0 to 60 time. That means these things were absolutely terrible as a pursuit vehicle. But since the Chevy Impala is on the W platform shared with a lot of luxury cars, these were well suited for patrols. And since these things blended in so well, these were fantastic undercover vehicles. Because let's face it, nothing screams I'm a cop more than a white Crown Victoria. But when it comes to unmarked police cars, the Dodge Durango takes the crown. Because who would expect to be pulled over by a Durango RT? Anyways, these either came with a 3.6-liter Pentastar or the 5.7-liter Hemi. Means this big SUV accelerates faster than my Fox body Mustang. It's still lacking on the top speed though. But since this thing is a big SUV, it handles like absolute trash. And the brakes are only good for 1, maybe 2 panic stops. But here's the thing. There is a slight possibility that some of these came equipped like an SRT. Maybe not necessarily with a 6.4-liter Hemi, but at least with Brembo calipers. Likely, yeah. Unrealistic, no. At number 8, we have the Mustang SSP. Made between 1982 and 1993, these were all notchback Mustangs equipped with a 5-liter and a 5-speed. Even though all these make less than 220 horsepower, I can guarantee you that these things are not slow. Advertised top speed is 135 miles an hour, but they are sandbagging that number like crazy. With highway gears, these things can easily do 160 miles an hour. Downside of these being the fact that the front end gets light around 110 miles an hour, and these cars are extremely twitchy. Then the Camaro didn't have that problem. This is the Camaro B4C. And if you don't know about these things are basically a Camaro Z28. For the 3rd gens, you can get these things with a 350 and an automatic, or you can get these things with a 305 and a 5-speed. Top speed was roughly 150 miles an hour, and you could option these things out with Corvette front calipers. Unfortunately, when we're talking about the 4th gen B4C Camaro, it is literally just a Camaro Z28 with a base model trim. That's still nothing to slouch at because the early ones got the LT1 with 275 horsepower and a top speed of roughly 160, and the later ones had the LS1 and a top speed of you're not getting away, bud. At number 6, we have the Caprice 9C1. This is the same car as a Chevy Impala SS. The only difference is the rims and the fact that the Impala SS is lower. After 1994, these things had the LT1 making 260 horsepower. Unfortunately, these were paired with a 4L60E, but they did have a top speed of 150 miles an hour. These were loved by police back in the day. Big, they were comfy, they were fast, and most importantly, they could take a beating and never break. There is only one massive downside to these though. It's the fact that you can't find them anymore because everybody beat the hell out of them. And also, they stopped making these things 30 years ago. At number 5, we have the Chevy Tahoe. Now, these things were big, they were bulky, and they were slow. But there was one humongous advantage with these. It's the fact that these things are a vehicular sledgehammer. Need to pit maneuver a dually pickup truck? Chevy Tahoe. Need to go off-road? Chevy Tahoe. Need to unlock a door? Chevy Tahoe. If you're patient enough, a Chevy Tahoe will get the job done. The current Tahoe PPV comes with a 5.3-liter V8 making 355 horsepower. It also comes with Brembo brakes. It also has a gross vehicle weight of Jesus Christ. Also, the advertised top speed of these is 130 miles an hour. But I could honestly see General Motors putting a 6.2-liter in these for certain departments if they request it. Because there's no way in hell that little 5.3-liter is enough engine for this big behemoth. And you can't say the same thing about the Ford Taurus and the Explorer. And if you didn't know, these things were on the same platform. That means they both share the same piss-poor handling characteristics. But these did have an optional 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 making 365 horsepower. But unfortunately, it's extremely prone to turbo failure, so keep that in mind if you ever want to go out and look for one of these. Now, these things were used absolutely everywhere, and apparently police departments actually liked them. Just like the Impala and the Durango, you will always end up mixing up a civilian one with a police car. But unfortunately, the horsepower and the broad application of these was the only reason this is on this list. In my honest opinion, I just hate these things. They're so terrible. And next, we have the Crown Victoria P71. This is the king daddy of cop cars. These had the 4.6-liter modular making a whopping 250 horsepower. That basically makes these a 4-door 2-valve Mustang. And get this, they stopped making these in 2011, and some police departments are still using these. Hell, the cop car that they use at my old high school is still a Crown Victoria. Every single cop that ever drove one of these absolutely loved them. They handled pretty damn good, they were durable, and they were dependable. So when they had to replace them, a lot of police departments just bought Chargers. Ah yes, the only police car powered by 5-hour energy. Now, just like the Dodge Durango, these either came with a 5.7-liter Hemi or the 3.6-liter Pentastar. But a lot of departments actually opted to get these with a 6-speed automatic instead of the 8-speed. The main reason behind that is the fact that the 6-speed was a little bit more durable. But I will say that these big behemoths still handle really well. Since they trace their roots all the way back to 90s Autobahn cars, they're really good for highway pursuits. But unfortunately, Dodge being Dodge, they governed these to 155 miles an hour. But they're quick, they're durable, they handle. But what could possibly be better than the Dodge Charger? The Chevy Caprice PPV. This is a Chevy Camaro SS with 4 doors. It has a 6-liter, 360 horsepower LS motor, a top speed of well over 160 miles an hour, and the biggest brakes on any cop car, period. You are not getting away from a Chevy Caprice PPV unless you're in a Hellcat. And these blend in super well. Just like the Chevy SS, people confuse these things with a Malibu. And nobody would expect one of these things to be quick. Plus, these things are all over Marketplace and they're stupid cheap, so if you want to pick one of these up, I'd highly suggest doing so. Put an LSA blower on it, big cam, there you go. PL1 Caprice. Anyways, that's going to bring us to the end of today's video. If I forgot anything, please make sure to leave it in the comments down below. In the meantime, remember to like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will see you in the next video.